Fuck. Neuronymous.
Hello, my fellow neurotics. What's up, motherfuckers? It's Hal. I am doing a new show. Long time no here, even though it was like yesterday that I did another show, another episode. So, I haven't had a guest on for quite some time. I feel like they kind of dried up for a while, but I've been planning this special guest for about a month or two now. He's a very popular best-selling novelist. You can find his books on Amazon, hard copy, paperback, Kindle, whatever. However you choose to read your book. And I'll be honest. And again, his name is Jeff Menapace. He said, that's how his wife, he said, prefers but he said it can also be called Menapace. I'm gonna go with Menapace. That just sounds very exotic, and I like it. Anyway, so he's the author of this. Well, now it's a quadrilogy, I guess, at this point, or is it? I don't know. I think might be a fifth book out there, but it's a series. It's called the Bad Games series. I read part of the trilogy, and the first book I read, it was just called Bad Games, a dark psychological thriller. It is full of heinous shit that just like it's about a family that gets terrorized by these two brothers. Games are played, mind games, violent, it all escalates to violence. And the first time I read it, I was like, I don't think I got this in me. I've got a pretty thick stomach. I watch horror movies. I watch, dark psychological movies that are, thrillers that are movies. I have a pretty strong constitution when it comes to bloodshed. But I don't know why. For some reason, like, the idea of watching a family terrorized, like, it was just kind of, I was like, oh my God, this man is sick. How is he writing this stuff? And, I'm sure, it's not like we were reinventing he probably thought he was reinventing the wheel when he made it. I'm sure he wasn't thinking that. But the more I got to think about it, I was like, I should follow through and keep reading. And I did. And as soon as I finished reading the first book, which was absolutely fucking brilliant, I read the second Bad Games book, Vengeful Games. It's called Vengeful Games. And it just upped the ante. And it is, man, it was absolutely dark and gruesome and just suspenseful as fuck. And, I love it. I love the twisted shit, and, I never thought I'm a pretty gentle soul, that being said, I've also got a very twisted mind. The shit that I think of that comes out of my head sometimes, look, yesterday, the whole thing with Mother Teresa and dicks falling off. Who thinks that? Who comes up with that shit, right? But anyway, no dicks fell off in this movie, in these books. Well, one almost got bitten off, but that doesn't count. Anyway, I'm very, very excited. Like I said, his books are just phenomenal. He's also written another book called Wildlife, which I have yet to read. It's on my to-do list. But I don't have a lot to say. I said most of it yesterday. In fact, I think the last few weeks I've been kind of corresponding with Jeff about our interview, and there are a few occasions where I was reading the book. I was like, "You bastard! You killed so and so," and it was like South Park. It was like an episode of South Park. I was like, that whole "you bastards, you killed Kenny." I was like, "You bastard! How did you kill this person? How could you do that?" and he sends me like emoticon with like devil ear, like a devil emoticon or emoji or whatever the fuck they call them these days, So anyway, I'm really looking forward to this. I've been looking forward to it all week, and it's going to be a Skype interview. He's on the East Coast, so it is going to be Skype, but that will not deter me from drilling into him about what the fuck is wrong with you. I'm sure he'll enjoy that. I'm sure he probably will take it as a compliment, I hope. Anyway, so without further ado, I will be dialing up Mr. Menapace, Jeff Menapace on Skype here in just a few moments, and the interview will begin. The hour is nigh. Yeah, there we are.
Okay.
Hey,
All right.
no Speedo.
No, I thought about it, but last minute I decided it gets too cold outside. I don't want my nipples getting hard.
Jeff Menapace. Is that right?
Yeah, it's close enough. Jeff Menapace. It's either Menapace or Menapace.
We're gonna go with Menapace. That's what we're gonna do. You sick fuck,
right.
Man. I love your books, man. I was reading another one. I started reading one from another author, and then I realized I gotta go all the way, man. I can't stop now.
Hopefully
Yeah. So I mean, God, how does it feel to be a best-selling novelist? That's got to be a wide, just a rude awakening. A good rude awakening.
It's when it happens, it's nice. Unfortunately, that title of bestseller doesn't. It's nice to have now and then, but unfortunately, it doesn't stick as far as throughout. But it's at one point, it's good. It's nice. It's nice to know that you that a lot of people bought your stuff at one point and they're digging it.
Yeah. No. Absolutely. And the thing is, I guess, you've been getting comparisons to Coons and King. That's got to be fucking rad, man.
It's hugely rad. It's of course, when I hear that, as nice as it is to hear, it also makes me feel self-conscious because it's can't be. It's like a basketball player being compared to Michael Jordan. There's only going to be one Jordan,
Right.
So
yeah.
So there's a part of me that's like, oh, that's so nice, but come on. There's only one King and Coons and etc.
Right.
But at the same time, I think I love when fans of their work and similar authors also enjoy mine. I think that's a great compliment.
Yeah, and to a certain extent, it's a compliment, but you almost kind of want it to be like, hey, what the fuck? This is my shit. This is my work.
It's unavoidable. I think no matter what, unless you got there first, you're always going to be compared to your form. I was just watching a documentary the other day about Larry Holmes, the boxer.
Right.
And, he's easily one of the greatest heavyweights ever, but he could never get out of Ali's shadow. And he kept saying over and over, because he came right after Muhammad Ali, and he kept saying, I'm not the next Ali, I'm the first Larry Holmes. But no matter what he did, he was always compared to Ali. So
that sucks. That's kind of got to suck a little bit.
It's what it is, as long as people read my stuff and they dig it, that's cool.
Yeah, and I just remember I read your your author's note saying you write for yourself, and you do it for your own pleasure, and I think that's really cool. you know, some people write for money, some people write for their fans, but I mean, I think it's cool that you're kind of just. For me, like this podcast, I don't do it for anybody else but myself. You know what I mean? It's cool to have guests on, and it's cool to have, you know, to be able to talk to people and connect with people. But like at the end of the day, you know, I kind of think of this as like my therapy. Like I'm like your client today. You're like my therapist.
Well, I'm proud to be your therapist.
Yeah, which is kind of fucked up if you think about it.
Definitely, I can't speak for all writers, but I would think for a lot, it's exceptionally cathartic. And
sure.
And I do write. Like I have no, you know, I'm not kidding myself in thinking that I'm gonna, you know, write great literature and be the next, you know, fucking Hawthorne or whatever. But my goal is to entertain. I just if I can get people who say, oh, I read your book on the beach, I got a sunburn because I couldn't leave the beach and I had to finish it. That to me is good. Or I missed my flight because I was in the airport and couldn't stop reading your book or something like that. That's a win for me.
Yeah, I got in trouble. I work from home, you know, and like I'd be on my break and I'd be like, shit, I got to get back upstairs and you know, and get back on the phones. And I'm like, but wait, there's one more like little short like one paragraph chapter. I can read it. Somebody's about to get their dick bitten off. I mean, that's just like, I was like, I got to know what happens, you know? So
yeah, those sometimes, you know, it's sometimes, I won't say all the time, but sometimes those short chapters, they're short for a reason.
Yeah.
One more page, one more. Oh, okay, one more.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're not by accident.
It's a pleasure to layer, you know. So where are you? I mean, I think it said Newtown. Is that where you reside now?
Pennsylvania. That's where I live now.
Yeah, that's where most of your stories take place. Is Pennsylvania, right?
Yeah, I'm a Pennsylvania boy.
Yeah.
I've lived throughout pretty much northeastern PA my whole life, and I mean, some of my books took place, you know, out west
right.
or further north, and I've been to all those places. But I try as much as possible to, you know, to give Pennsylvania. I love this state, so I try to give it its props. You know. Yeah.
So I mean, what's your process, man? I mean, like, what gets you going as far as like, hey, it's time for me to write now? I mean, I know you do it for yourself, but I mean, is there like a catalyst that says, you know, a drive, you know, as far as just getting it starting the book?
You know, I think it's always just been the love of it. I mean, I think that comes. I mean, sure. I can't speak for anyone else but myself, but I think at the start, it was always the love of it. I mean, even when I was struggling to make it as a writer, you know, I was working as a school teacher, getting up at 6 a.m. and I would set my alarm and get up at 4 a.m. and write for 2 hours before I had to teach. And I did it because I just loved it, you know, it was a release for me, you know, and, but my process is typically, I mean, I'm not gonna lie though, I mean, some days are tough, you know, because if you're roadblocked or you're just, I don't know, you didn't sleep well at night, whatever.
Yeah.
But normally I get up, get caffeinated,
right,
that kind of stuff, and then I get right to it because I find it's very easy to get sucked into the whole, you know, that black hole of social media stuff, or just fucking around on your. Oh, can I say the F word?
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Right. Okay.
I called you a twisted fuck at the beginning of the show.
Oh, that's right, you did. Okay, good.
Yeah,
good.
Fucking A, man. Say fucking fuck.
All right.
I was in a church the other day, and I was like, they were like, I was at a retreat, and I was like, can I say fuck? And they were like, yeah. And I said, well, fuck. And it was a church, which is pretty shitty on my part. But you know, there was like a picture of there was a Jesus Christ photo, and the guy and whoever did it, I swear to God, had to have been looking at Nicolas Cage. Like when they did it, because it was like, and I have it on my Facebook page. Like I was like, Nicolas Cage is Jesus Christ. Tell me I'm wrong. You know, like anyway, you have to see it. If you check out my Facebook page, you'll see it. But yeah, anyway, but no, fuck is used and peppered very liberally in my show. So feel free to fuck as much as you want.
Cheers.
All right. You
Sorry,
said fuck a
I can
lot
see
just
my,
now.
my cat, when he hears me talking, he keeps in. I don't know if are you still on video? Can you see this?
Yeah, I can see it.
That's the cat's tail. It's here. Say hello. Hey, buddy.
Yeah. Hey, at least it's
He's
not
a good
like
boy.
a stump or anything like
No, that's true. He's a good boy. He hears me talking and he comes in to. He wants to make sure he's the center of attention.
Hey, don't we all?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So get up in the morning, get caffeinated, and then get right to work. And then once I'm done, depending on how Friday I am, then I do my marketing stuff.
Yeah. So you're married, so
Yeah.
I'm sure your wife reads. Does your wife read your stuff?
She is the very first person to ever read. She's the very first beta reader, if you will.
Okay.
She is my Tabitha King. She's my Alma Hitchcock. She's my she is the first one to read my stuff and tell me if it's fucked up or if it's in a good way, of course, or if it's fucked up in a bad way.
Yeah.
Normally, when it's fucked up in a good way, I give her a big smooch and I'm happy. If she says it's fucked up in a bad way, then I kind of sulk in the corner for a while. But normally, you know what though? She's usually always right. I mean, I gotta be honest with you, and she's given me wonderful feedback.
Yeah.
On how to stretch out scenes and make them more tense and all that good stuff.
See, my wife absolutely is the last person to listen to my podcast because she's just
Really?
like, well, yeah, she supports and she loves the fact that I have this outlet, but at the same time, she's like, Hal, I fucking heard everything you've said already like a gazillion times. Like, why the fuck am I listening to your shit? Like, but the guest, and she'll be like, dude, I don't give a shit about some actor or whatever. And I'm like, or stand-up comedian. I'm like, well, fine. And then I sulk in a corner.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, there's always a corner to sulk in. There's always like
Absolutely.
a chair, an easy chair recliner, and just be like, fuck you, I hate the world. So, but yeah, I mean, so how long have you been married?
Not long. I mean, I'm 45. We got married when I was 2014. It's been 4 years. We've been married 4 years. October 30th will be 5.
Wow.
So we met. She's 43. We met later in life, which was probably a good thing because we both agreed that if we met earlier in our 20s, we would have fucked it up. We were both fucked up. So it's good that we met later in life because we had gotten all the crazy shit out of our system.
Yeah, well, that's funny you say that because my wife and I, we'd met like 5 years prior, and there was nothing, just absolutely nothing. And then somehow we kept our instant message, AOL when AOL Instant Messenger was, and somehow I had a frowny face on, and she out of the blue, this girl just sends me this message saying, "Hey, what's going on? Why?" And she thought I was somebody else, and next thing you know, we're talking for 5 hours, and the spark was there, and within 9 months or so, we were engaged. So I mean, it's just exactly. It happens when it happens, and but we both agreed that we were both really fucked up at the time, not drunk, but she's
You weren't ready.
yeah, exactly. She needed to control somebody, and I needed to be controlled. So it was the perfect fucking storm. It was like that George Clooney movie. You're headed straight for the monster. So
I don't know that one. Which movie was that?
The George Clooney movie where he and Mark Wahlberg are on the boat and they hit that gigantic
the
wave.
Storm, the one about the fishing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's, trust me, it's not that memorable a movie. The fact that I remember it just goes to show how weird I am, and I have a very, very vague. I come up with these vague pop culture references, very esoteric, and people are like, "What are you fucking talking about?"
I like that, man. My wife says I can watch a movie and for whatever reason, I don't know why, I can remember dialogue verbatim after one time of watching it. It's the most useless fucking talent in the world, but it can be 3 years later, and after seeing it once, I'll repeat it back to her, and she'll look at me. It's we're currently digging into game shows that will somehow exploit that so we can be rich.
Yeah. No, no. It's just I've always been the movie guy. I can remember dates in my life that nobody should. I like, like really weird dates too, like because it relates to like when I saw a particular movie. But as far as dialogue goes, like I can quote you the Big Lebowski for verbatim, like
Okay.
yeah, that's it's one of my favorites. But
It's funny, when I first saw that film, I didn't like it.
really,
It was only after watching it a second time that I really liked it. First time, I think it was because I was expecting something more along the lines of Raising Arizona.
oh sure, Holly Hunter,
And
Nicholas
I
Cage.
mean, not that it wasn't quirky like Raising Arizona, but first time I didn't see and it might have been overhyped. Everyone was
Yeah,
talking about
yeah,
it was, which is usually the way. But after watching it a second time, I was like, all right, this movie is pretty sweet.
yeah. So the big question that I have is like, and it's gonna. I don't want it to sound wrong, but like, there's only one way to say. But what fucked you up enough to like to come up with some of the some of these fucking stories?
You know what? I was always a weird kid, man.
Yeah.
I just, I always had, just as a kid, most kids played with, Star Wars and G.I. Joe, and
Yeah.
I liked monsters, and I had posters of Dracula and the Wolfman and all that shit.
Oh, nice.
And I just liked, I don't, you know what it was too? I also had a lot of phobias when I was a kid. And I think, in some maybe way, I was trying to conquer those phobias by embracing certain things.
Sure.
And so, and I did, and then ultimately it just became, and I do tend to have a proclivity towards dark things. I mean, I'll see something, and I'm not proud. Well, it's who I am.
Be proud, man, dude.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a good person. I would never hurt a fly. But like I see a kid running down the street, my first thought is like, what if that kid tripped and skidded on his face? It'd be fucking hilarious. And then I'm like, and I'll say it to my wife, and she'll look at me like, what's wrong with you? And I'm like, sorry. So I just tend to think like, sick, fucked up things.
Yeah, no, that's good. Yeah, no, I mean, like I was also a weird kid. Like like for me, like I had like really weird phobias. Like, and I've talked about this in my podcast before. Like there was like this assignment, like what is your biggest fear? And somebody had talked to me about, my mom had talked to me about, my mom she's this neurotic Jewish mom, right? And like she's like constantly afraid of me getting sick, and like she talked about like lockjaw and rust and like tetanus and like there's,
I wonder why you had those phobias.
yeah, right. And like there was this, I had a class. There was this class, and there was this assignment, and like all these kids were like, "Oh, if my mommy and daddy got hurt, or like, or if I got somebody hurt, if a shark ate me," and I was just like, comes to me, and I'm like, rust and lockjaw, and rust and lockjaw, and the kids just, all the kids, and even the teachers just like, what the fuck. what 12-year-old thinks is like afraid of rust and like lockjaw and tetanus, But no, the thing that I love about your books is that you tapped into like this very, very primal thing for me. One of my biggest fears is home invasion.
Yes.
Home invasion. Somebody like just pretending to have like the best of intentions when they like deep down like like just completely violating that bubble of mine, you know what I mean? Because I'm not a people person, which is weird because I have a podcast and I interview people, but I don't like people entering my bubble. And so like when you write these books and I read these books and like men and women are getting killed inside their own homes, with a baseball bat or whatever. Like I'm just like, fuck, this isn't like like It or something like that. There's no Pennywise the clown. This shit happens. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and that's why it's so scary.
That's a good point. I've said this a lot. I like to write. I mean, I write about all things, but the stuff that really scares me is the stuff that can happen.
Yeah.
I don't believe. I like to write supernatural stuff, but I don't believe in it. I don't believe in ghosts and demons and hell and heaven and all that stuff. But I do believe that someone can break in your home at 3 a.m. and fuck with your family.
Yeah.
And that's That's a terrifying prospect, in my opinion. You know.
Yeah. Absolutely. No, the scariest movie for me, I mean, if I was going to go with horror, it would be Candyman. But, but again, that movie is kind of grounded in like there's like police involved, like the authorities are, I don't know if you've ever seen Candyman, but it deals with like realistic like things like, urban legends and like,
yeah, I'm actually looking. I'm sorry if I'm looking away right now. It's here somewhere. I've got a paperback that's like 30 years old with the original short story. It was called The Forbidden.
Yeah, The Forbidden. Clive Barker.
Yeah, Barker. Yeah, he's.
I love Clive Barker.
He's a genius.
Yeah, The Great and Secret Show and Everville. I love those books. Yeah. But yeah, but the scariest movie that kept me up for like months was the movie Seven with I was like I think it was 14 or 15 when I saw that. I couldn't sleep for fucking 2 months after that. That scene with the fucking corpse, that's still alive. Yeah, I was like, okay, I'm done. I'm not sleeping for like at least a year.
Awesome. That was a genuinely good scare. That scene.
Yeah, because like the thing is, that guy is good as dead, and then the doctor says, I don't know if that guy is that guy. He's gonna be in hell, but he's already been in hell. Like
he says he would die right if he didn't chew his tongue off, which he already did.
Yeah.
He would, if you shined a bright light into his eyes, he would die right now. Shock. He still has hell to look forward to, or something.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, exactly. And like it's that, and then it just ends on the darkest way possible. It like, and I had. If it
ended a different way, it would have been too Hollywood. I love that they stuck to their guns and ended it there.
Yeah, I mean, what a bold move. I mean, like you don't, and then I can guarantee you that wouldn't happen. I mean, that wouldn't happen now. Even in a movie like as innovative as like say Get Out, that came out recently. The good guy prevails. You know what I mean? But in this one, I mean, it's like there's just no light at the end of the tunnel. You know what I mean? And like,
it's right, but at the same time, what I loved about that ending was, let's be honest, it's realistic.
Yeah.
I mean, like you're sitting there and there's this fucking douchebag who just admits that he killed your wife, cut her head off, and it's sitting in a box over there.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, become wrath, and your wife's dead because you're holding a gun in your hand. We would probably nine out of 10 dudes would probably shoot the guy.
Oh fuck yeah, yeah. And I guess in the original end, I mean, there was like an alternate ending where Morgan Freeman apparently says like he looks at he gets the gun away from Pitt and goes, I'm retired, and he shoots him. And I'm like, that would have been okay. That would have been a good line, but it wouldn't. It wouldn't have. It still would be the same grim ending. Her head's off, but it wouldn't fulfill the promise of just
all of his sins being fulfilled.
Yeah, exactly. So, but here's the
Brad Pitt to become wrath.
Yeah, exactly. But here's the thing. I don't know what this says about me per se, but like I kind of find your villains as horrible and terrible and like just completely like obscene and terrible as they are. There's a part of me that kind of like you're kind of like, oh, they're kind of funny. They're kind of, I mean, like they're terrible, but like they have that brotherly familial like relationship with each other. You know what I mean? Like they've got a system and they've got it down. And like there's this part of me that's kind of like, they're the villains that you kind of love to hate. You know what I mean?
Thank you.
Yeah, exactly.
I like dark humor. I try to inject it a lot. And like I said, I think that's a great way of putting it. I appreciate it. You love to hate them. And you want villains that you love to hate. You want good guys you can cheer for and villains you can love to hate.
Yeah, exactly. And then even I would say even more so in the second book, because like the character of Monica, and for the readers who haven't read this, she's she's another character that pops up that wants to terrorize the Lambert family, the protagonists in this in the series. This is for I'm addressing my listeners right now. There's a Lambert family, and they're terrorized by these two brothers that just fuck with them and like hurt them, and just for the sake of playing with and just fucking terrorizing them. Okay, so the second book, there's this new character that pops up named Monica, and she starts terrorizing the shit out of this poor fucking family that's been through so much. Yeah, exactly. And and the thing is, the whole book, I was just like, you're not rooting for her per se, but you're kind of like, if it was like the girl with the dragon tattoo and they made the girl with the dragon tattoo the villain.
Yeah.
That would be kind of like Monica. Like, it'd be like the villain. She's like the villainous version of the girl with the dragon tattoo, but like she's way more just. Oh God, I get chills thinking about this.
I probably get the most fan mail for that series about her. Like,
really?
Everyone loves Monica. Yeah, she was fun to write, man. She was. Everyone loves Monica, and I got to be honest, she was fun to write because there was like no limits with her because she was this, sexy, beautiful, highly educated, highly trained person who was also just batshit crazy,
Right.
She was just a lot of fun. Like, my favorite personal scene with her is when she's coming out of the vet store and she crumples up her pack of cigarettes and throws it away, and the woman with her dog yells at her for littering, and she goes over and headbutts the woman and knocks her down and makes her dog lick the blood off.
Yes. Oh, the part that gets me, the part that made me really uncomfortable was like when she goes to the desk or something like that, and she talks to the nurse and she says, "Oh, do you have a dog? Do you have a dog?" And like all of a sudden she just goes, "Cunt." And the nurse or the person at the front desk is like, "What did you say?" And she's like, she just like completely just levels her, just for no reason other just for the sheer satisfaction of it, and just like watching her squirm. I loved it. It was hard. It was very, very uncomfortable. But like I was just like, that scene is like what made, I don't know why, but that scene is what made the book for me, because I like, just like, I work in customer service. I mean, like, and if somebody just all of a sudden, granted, I don't meet people face to face, thank God. But like if somebody all of a sudden just started, talk, I mean, like, I would just be like, wait, what? What did you just fucking say to me? Like, and the thing is, with my job is, even the worst of the worst, if they hang up on you, you have to call them back.
Oh, that sucks.
Oh, yeah, I know, right? So the Lamberts, the last time I left them, something terrible had happened to the family. The second book, at the end of the second book. Yeah. But, and when I thought about it, I was like, I looked at the third. I was like, "There's a third fucking book in this thing. How many people?"
The fifth one's coming out.
I saw that. Like, and I'm just like, how much more can this fucking family take? Like, at a certain point, it should be like The Shield. Like at the end, when like Shane and the Shield. Did you ever watch The Shield?
No, I did. I know of it though.
Oh man, like it gets really grim. Like one of the major characters just kills himself and the whole family. And I'm just like, after a certain point, like I'm just waiting for like the mom in the series to give her kids some like cyanide caplets and be like, all right, we're done. This is it. Can't do this anymore.
I try to with the last two, I put a lot of distance between them. Like the fourth one is 5 years after the third, and now the fourth one is 10 years after the fourth.
Yeah.
So it's not like shit's happening to them back to back to back. It's not like this family.
Okay, good.
They are
good.
like Jason. You just can't kill them.
Right.
But yeah, I do even in fact in the one that's coming out, I'll just tell you now, I make like tongue-in-cheek joke.
Yeah.
That someone says to Amy Lambert, like, it's becoming comical how much fucking how many people in this world can say they've been tied up and tortured as many times as you have. So I was kind of poking fun at myself.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but then you bring in this brilliant character who I've only gotten a taste of at this point, because I haven't quite gotten into the meat of the third one. But you bring in this character named Domino, who's seen, apparently has been through and seen a lot of shit in his day, and he's there to protect the Lambert family, and you're just like, I don't know why, but you instantly feel comfortable with this character. Like you almost like his presence is soothing because you feel like he's got this. The other two guys you're kind of like, okay, but like this Domino guy, you're just like, okay, this guy's gonna fucking kick some ass, and
Yeah,
you instantly feel
the other
calm.
two guys. I mean, and that was the point. The other two guys, they were there. Yeah, they were his help. They weren't really supposed to be fleshed out. But the Domino character, I really wanted people to like and see that he was like a gentle giant who was also capable of ripping your head off. And I think the scene I wrote that I really tried to convey that was when he came in and Carrie, the little girl, was on the stairs and he went up next to her, and Carrie, who was is like a pain in the ass little girl throughout her whole life, he got Carrie to come down the stairs and shake his hand and smile to her, and it was. I tried to like right there. If kids are like the best barometer for everything. And
sure.
If the little girl was able to come down to this big imposing man, then there must be something good in him.
Yeah, absolutely. And like and I like he's I don't know, like you said, he's a gentle giant. Now I was and I was trying. I'm the kind of guy who like I like to visualize things, and you and I were talking earlier about who could play who in the movie, right?
Yeah,
if they made
right.
Because it's been optioned for a film, right?
Yeah, the series has,
The series. How do you feel? I mean, that's got to feel great. I mean, are you excited? Are you nervous?
It's very exciting. Unfortunately it's a waiting. Hollywood moves extremely slow.
Yeah.
So it's
Look at him.
I mean, and there are still some things that I can't even say.
Okay.
But because I get asked a lot about it, and I'm not allowed to say. But it is nice. I wish it would happen sooner.
Well,
but,
yeah.
Right
I mean,
now, it's a waiting game.
Yeah, you're not kidding about Hollywood working. So I mean, like, look how it took. What, I don't know if you've ever seen Unbreakable, but like, it took 20 fucking years to like make a sequel to Unbreakable.
I didn't know that. The one about Glass? Or?
Yeah, Glass.
Okay.
I mean,
I liked Unbreakable. I saw the one Split. I didn't like that too much. I thought that was a little all over the place. I don't know. Maybe I was in the wrong.
I liked it, but like, I think the thing that really made it work for me is that at the end, the little Easter egg at the end that it's in, it's
Bruce Willis.
Yeah, Bruce Willis is and this is a spoiler alert. If you haven't seen the movie at this point, fuck you. Sorry, but fuck you. That's kind of how I am with like if you have not seen the movie a year and a half into once it's been on Blu-ray and whatever, then go fuck yourself. Sorry, you had your chance. Sorry, but anyway, but to a certain extent, Unbreakable, the sequel to it is Glass. I mean, really, it's a direct sequel. So it came out like 19, 20 years later, and I'm just like, yeah, no fucking shit. Hollywood works really fucking slow. But I think I really hope they do make movies out of the series, because honestly, I mean, they I could see them being hits, and I hope they. I don't want them to make like a, and this is, and I mean this in the nicest way possible. I hope they don't make like a TV I mean, it'd be cool to have like an HBO like mini series,
or something.
Yeah, but. Like, I don't want them to make, like, a TV series about it, like, where they water it down. Like, I want them to make a hard R, like...
It's got to be for the whole... I don't see how they could make this TV friendly. Maybe... I don't know. What was Breaking Bad on? That was
on AMC.
AMC. I mean, I guess maybe AMC. I don't know. I mean...
They get pretty dirty. They get down dirty pretty much with the Walking Dead now, as far as the gore factor goes. But
I gave up on that after like the second season.
After a certain point, you're just like, how are these people? Like, my wife actually, like, she was watching the show. She goes, I would have just fucking killed myself at this point. Like, what's the point? What's the point? You're just like, you're basically just dodging slow people that want to fucking take a piece out of you. And
it felt like it was the same shit over and over. And it was one of those shows where nothing would happen, and then in the last 3 minutes something would happen, and you go, oh shit, well I gotta tune in next week, and then nothing would happen.
Yeah.
And that's, in my opinion, that's making you tune in. It's not. Yeah. I like shows that have replay value. Yeah.
See, for me, my favorite show of all time, and I'm sure people give me tons of shit about it, is Lost. Because
my wife loves that show.
Well, you're what?
My wife loves that show.
Are you not a fan?
I haven't seen it.
Oh, okay. I see. I
I
like.
know the ending, so she keeps saying we should watch it. But I'm like, I know the ending. What's the point?
Yeah, I like that, and I like 24. I was always a fan of 24 because even
Oh,
though
yeah.
yeah with Kiefer and because even when things were like yeah, there's always a cliffhanger at the end, but like it was in the service of the story. It wasn't being like, hey, let's get more viewers each. So
Right.
but I mean, like with your books, I mean, yeah, they're to a certain extent they're kind of cliffhangers, but like they're all in the service of like what's like they're it's not like trying to like goad the reader into reading the next book. It's
No,
basically
every single book I've written has been with the intention of ending it right then and there.
right. Yeah, no, it says
And
the end at the end.
if I wrote a sequel or a follow-up to it, it was, I like to think of follow-up as opposed to sequel.
Yeah.
It was again a standalone. Yeah, I agree. I don't think a book, especially a novel.
Yeah.
TV shows I can see it, but movies or novels that like at the very end they leave you really hanging. I think that's bullshit.
It is.
You gotta have some closure.
Marvel.
What's that? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. I gotta see those. I've seen a couple of the Marvels. I like.
You see one, you kind of seen them all. I mean,
I like the one with the Hulk. What was the one with the Hulk? Picks the guy up and smashes them all over the place.
yeah,
Beauty God. That's awesome.
yeah. That was pretty. Okay, that was pretty good. That was pretty cool. But yeah, no, I mean, and everybody's just like all up in arms about Infinity War, and I'm just like, I want to fucking see John Wick. Like to hell with the fucking Infinity War. I want the Avengers. Fuck the Avengers. I want to see fucking John Wick put a pencil in somebody's ear again. You know what I mean?
I
So.
can't wait. I love the John Wick movies. I really do. Keanu Reeves is awesome. I love I don't want to do spoilers, but like I cannot wait. I don't know how the hell he's gonna after this. What's gonna happen in this third one? It's gonna be great.
The way they ended the second one, and again, spoiler alert if you haven't seen it, fuck you, sorry, but you see just how up against the wall John Wick is by the end of the movie. Like you're like when he's running, you're just like seriously. It's like a run, Forrest, run. You're just like run the shit out of yourself and do not stop. But like the trailer is just like they have like literally Ian McShane like looking at his watch, going like 3, 2, 1, and I'm just like, oh fuck, this is gonna be great. Yeah, but yeah.
Halle Berry's in it, which I'm okay. I'm not a huge fan of hers.
I can't stand her. I think I mean, she won an Oscar. That's great. But she like, it was one of those movies where like, she had to dress down and be like kind of homely and just be like, make me feel good. Like that scene. And I'm just like, oh my God, just stop. Just, I mean, she's not a terrible actress. She's just, there are other actresses that are way better that I think that are comparably, but yeah, one other thing I was going to mention was like what I've noticed that like your all of your your serial killers, they kind of, like I said, that they're kind of like families. I mean, like there's the Monica and her dad, and then there's the brothers, and I mean, is there something to that, and as far as like just like wanting to keep everything very familial?
No, not necessarily. It's funny you say that because it's in wildlife. The bad guys are a family, but no, it's really. I think it just as a writer, I always wanted to. It gives you more room to work with characters and background, and the reality is that serial killers are exceptionally boring people. And if you ever look at who they are, they're not interested. Their crimes bring a lot of attention, but who they are as individuals is they're really mundane.
Right, they're
so
sociopaths.
You have to fictionalize them a lot. There's no Hannibal Lecters out there. I mean, they're all. I always wanted to write like a kind of homage to, like, I thought it would be cool to write like a Halloween homage, like a Michael Myers killer.
Yeah.
That could never work in a book though.
Right.
I mean, it works great on film. This mindless, this driven
machine,
but that you just couldn't convey that in a book. It would fail miserably. How would you? Because I think you want to get into the head of the killer, and you want to know what the killer's thinking. And if you got in the head of Michael Myers, all it would be is like 8 paragraphs of kill, 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 kill,
Right.
kill.
With no silence. I mean with no dialogue. And and the thing is, the dialogue like that you write is very witty. Like it's not, it's not just like like I'm gonna kill you now. It's not Terminator shit. It's like they're actual real flesh and blood people, that have their own quirks and like, you know what I mean? Like, their own things that like, make them tick, So
dialogue is one of those things. Like I have a bad dialogue irks the shit out of me. So I always strive to make it genuine. And what I try to do a lot, sometimes I'll do this. I'll go into like a diner or a bar, and I'll sit in a corner and I'll order a beer or I'll order a cup of coffee and I'll just sit there and eavesdrop on people. I'm not trying to be a creep.
I do too. Yeah.
But I just try to tune my ear to their dialogue and listen to how people talk.
Right.
And that's hugely important because a lot of times, when we write how we think people should talk, it sounds nothing like how people actually talk. So I think that's important to me is to really try to nail good dialogue because nothing hurts, with the exception of maybe adverbs.
Yeah.
Nothing hurts the reader's eyes worse than bad dialogue.
Yeah, I think the part in the second book that also really creeped me out was like, and it kind of goes with what you're saying, when the masseuse comes into the, quote unquote, the masseuse comes into the room and she starts using, like, she kind of figures out that something's going on, because exactly, contractions. I was like, I caught that. I mean, well, you're reading the book, you catch it, but like I was just waiting. I was just wondering in the next paragraph, is she gonna kind of figure out that like she's not using it's like a fake Russian accent? You know what I mean? So yeah, no, I mean, I think it's awesome. I mean, you orchestrate your books just absolutely perfectly, Matt, dude. Like I got none of my props for you, but I gotta tell you, so my wife and I, on a little personal level, we've been trying to adopt for a couple of years now, and like now that I've read your book, I'm just kind of like, honey, I don't want to fucking die, like, and she's like, what are you talking about? Like, these I won't give this that much away, but like I'm just like, there's some scary shit that could happen if we.
I don't think I'm the first one to come. It's kind of like it's been done. You're adopting the baby, but is it a psych? It's like the Omen, of course.
Yeah, the Omen.
It was the devil, for crying out loud. But I mean, it's you're adopting this baby, but what kind? It's not, doesn't come from our genetics. And
right.
What's the baby really like? What's going on in its head? Is it evil?
Right. And I liked the fact that they thought that they're so special because they came from this wholesome family. Yes. You know what I mean? I just thought that was brilliant. That was like their it was almost like their goal to say, fuck the system. We're they're good, we're bad, and we're special because of that. Like, to me,
you got that, because when I first started writing it, that was probably my main emphasis. I really wanted to, the age-old question of nature versus nurture.
Yeah, exactly.
And I really wanted to create these guys, because it's like, all right, they're just going to be run-of-the-mill killers, run-of-the-mill sickos, or whatever. But it's like, I wanted to add a different element to it. And I loved the idea that it's like, okay, you're either born bad or you're made bad. But what if these guys were born good, or supposedly born to loving families, and were raised in a loving family, yet both of them were fucking, bone deep evil. Right. I loved that premise,
Yeah, absolutely. And honestly, like I'm like 100 pages away from finishing this book that I was reading. I'm going to be interviewing another author. His name is Eric Henry Vick. Henry Eric Vick, I think. Anyway, but I'm like 100 pages away, and I was just like, nah, I gotta get back to the Lamberts. I gotta get back to Monica. So like the fact that I can be like torn away, like like away from a book when I'm like 100 pages away from the finish because I've got to read the next book. I mean, hats off to you, man. I mean, that's awesome. Yeah, I mean, so I mean, I guess my do you I mean, as far as you're a writer. I mean, do you talk to other? Do you have a writers group? Do you talk to other writers? Or are you kind of a loner?
Not really. I mean, on Facebook, I'll chat with them from little messages here and there. But generally, I don't think I'm tight with any. I mean, I'm friendly with. I think you can never have. It's an industry where a lot of times there is a lot of backstabbing going on. So I don't think you can ever have enough. Enough good things for writer friends, and vice versa. So
I tried at one point. I tried getting an interview with Stephen King, and I was really shocked, absolutely shocked. His personal assistant emailed me back, and was just like, "Stephen isn't doing interviews right now," and I was like, and she goes, "And he doesn't do Skype interviews," and I was like, "Wait, so am I really? I'm like a degree away from Stephen King, right? Because he." And like she and I was like, well, how about you? Do you want to do it? Do you want to do an interview? And she was like, no, but yeah, no, but no. Honestly, you have your own brand at this point, as far as like just making, like you've found this amazing niche of nurture versus nature, and then just like. Just complete terror, and like I said, hats off. I'm not trying to kiss ass here, but I mean, I have a very, very strong constitution, and I'm not squeamish at all, really. But I will admit to you, the first time I tried reading Bad Games, I had to put it down. I actually had to put it down because I was like, I don't know if I can take this poor family, and like after a certain point, I was just like, nah, gotta finish it. But like the fact that I had to put it down is that to me, that for me that's a compliment. So please take it.
I appreciate it. It's funny. It gets labeled. It's a violent book, but it's not gory.
No.
And a lot of people say like, oh, it's so gory and hard. It's actually, I point people out. I'm like, there's literally no blood for I think like the first 25 or 30 chapters.
Right.
It's just an increasing sense of doom.
Yeah.
And even with bad shit, I don't like to write excess gore. I don't feel like it's like pornography.
Yeah.
If you want that kind of thing, great, watch porn. But like if you're, that's not what I'm doing. And.
Right.
It's violent. I won't say it's not violent. And of course I have written some pretty cringeworthy stuff.
The nose bite was pretty. It was probably the
at the same time that part
apex.
You're so cheering. You're so you can relate to how that father is defending his family. That like
primal.
Bite that fucker off and spit it right in his face, and then get I would think that the reader is pumped up reading that. Like I bit that thing and swallowed it,
Yeah, sure. No, and like honestly, like to me, like I was just like, like you said, and it like it doesn't. I like the fact that it has like the little the slugger of a dark psychological thriller. It's not a dark horror thriller because it's not a horror book. It's not. I mean, there's horrific things that happens, but it's terror. It's terror and it's psychological and and the fact that you're able to just tap into such primal fear. I like I said, I'm very grateful that you took the time to interview me, and I really hope these the movies or the film does. If they do get made into films, that they do the books justice, because they're fucking phenomenal, man. You're fucking pro, man.
Thank you, buddy. I really appreciate that. That's very kind of you.
Well, hey, I will. I'm gonna cut you loose, and you keep writing more of that 5th and 6th and 7th book. And
the 5th right now is with my main editor.
Yeah.
So I'm waiting to get it back. I'm hoping she's gonna be gentle and not give me too many red lines.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Awesome, bud. Well, hey, I hope things continue down this path that you're going on, and my regards to the wife,
So,
tell her she's doing a good job.
she's awesome. She's helped my career big time.
All right, man. Well, hey, take care, and again, appreciate you being on the show, and you have a wonderful day.
All right, take care, buddy.
You too, man.
See ya.
See ya. All right. That was Jeff Menapace. Yeah, what a terrific interview. That was a lot of fun. I was I was expecting like a scholarly, writer, but you get people who are writers and they're just, they don't, they don't talk a lot, and they're like, they're very protective of their craft and whatever. And this was just a lot of fun, and I really tried to stay away from spoilers, but sometimes you got to go there. But yeah, I mean, Jeff is a phenomenal guy. Yeah, very very kind to be on the show, and yeah, this is the first. I have to say, this is probably the first guest I've had in, like, God, it's gotta be it's yeah. I mean, you gotta keep going. You gotta keep going with the process, and with the, you gotta have more content. And I promise you guys, I've got some really good content on the way as far as guests and just some more usual Hal Neuroses. But I promise you, in the next few weeks and months, with my new schedule and all this shit, the shit's gonna go down. Shit's gonna hit the fan, and But as always, we do what we do. We do it the best we can, and we do it, as always, one day at a time. Anonymous.